Hello, this is Justin Brown,
And Mason Woodford.
and today we will be investigating the moral changes Huck experiences from the start of the novel to the conclusion. Huck is presented with many distressing moral decisions, which eventually lead him to question the morality and supposedly civilized nature of society, thus demonstrating how life experiences of kindness and cruelty can affect the development of an individual's morality. At the onset of the novel, Huck is an impressionable, arguably ignorant river rat. His lack of strong parental figures during his early years lead him instead to seek acceptance amongst his gang of friends led by Tom Sawyer, who cause mischief across his hometown in the South, as illustrated in the scene from the 1993 movie adaptation of the novel.
Come on, Ben! Hit me! Come on! Come on, Ben! Come on! Come on, Ben! Come on! Let's go! Hit me! Hit me! Come on! Hit me! You afraid of me?
That all you got?
The one civilized parental figure he does have, the widow Douglas, presents him with her idea of a truly moral person, which is from a Christian perspective. However, her view of morality is still imperfect, as she participates in several unholy acts, such as holding slaves and taking snuff. At the beginning of the novel, Huck doesn't question these flaws, and he and Tom even actively torment Jim. He assumed it was perfectly fine to treat him as a lower being, simply because that's the way it was in the culture that surrounded him. However, after being forced to seek refuge on the river from Pap, Huck crosses paths with Jim and finds similarity in the fact that they are both societal outcasts. This connection begins to form Huck's newborn sense of morality, based upon his own experiences and observations of Jim. As Huck and Jim float down the river with the common goal of escaping their previously oppressive lives, a bond is slowly formed between the two. After realizing that Jim might never achieve freedom and thus never see his family again, Huck sees Jim's anguish and realizes, I do believe he cared just as much for his people as white folks does for theirs. Page 158. The river is a safe haven for Huck, where the prejudices of society don't exist and without the pressure of his community. Huck is able to think for himself and reject what society expects him to conform to, and come to the realization that some of the common white prejudices of the time have no basis in reality. Furthermore, when surrounded by societal influence in the form of Tom Sawyer's gang, Huck gets excited over the idea of robbing people and causing mischief. But after experiencing the world for himself, and seeing the Duke and the King genuinely taking advantage of an innocent family, Huck feels sympathy for the family, saying, "It made my heart ache to see them getting fooled and lied to so." Page 184.
Going all the way with this one. All for us and none for them. That's Tom.
I don't think it's right to steal from them nice girls.
You're in it now, you little stinkweed. Right up to your sneaky little eyeballs. And if it goes wrong, you'll take your punishment right along with us.
This shows how Huck's original sense of morality, shaped by his peers and the culture around him, differs greatly from the morality he determines for himself after seeing the world for what it truly is. Arguably, the most significant evidence of Huck's changing morality comes at the tail end of the novel, when Huck chooses to follow his heart rather than what society is telling him to do, and decides to steal Jim out of slavery, saying, "All right then, I'll go to hell." Page 215. The novel concludes with Huck's final realization that he doesn't want to be a part of such a hypocritical society, and so he leaves behind the civilized world for a more secluded life, hopefully one rooted in more sensible morals. Through the entirety of the novel, Huck's defiant nature made him always feel like he didn't belong, whether it be because of the widow Douglas overbearing religious doctrines, Pap's abuse, or any other reason. However, maybe it was this defiant nature that allowed him to develop an independent moral compass so drastically different from the beginning of the adventure. If Huck had never approached Jim on that island, his view of slavery and sense of morality might have remained stagnant his entire life. Through Huck's change in morality, Twain expertly illustrates how our sense of morality can be so narrow-minded if we are never fortunate enough to experience something that could disprove our theories, and make a commentary on how easy it is for entire cultures to engulf themselves in bigoted ideology.
Now, where did Huckleberry go to?
Ha 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 ha!